I am 50 years old. I can remember middle school like it was yesterday. I remember being a verbal punching bag for my bully. Because my ears were big, I had pimples all over my face, I was super skinny, and the clothes in my closet consisted mostly of hand-me-downs. His words at that time, yeah, they hurt deeply. I want you to take a journey with me back through your life, from childhood right up to this very moment. Can you recall a time when someone used words to inflict deep wounds and you never forgot it to this day? Yeah, you see, for many of us, we have allowed the words of others to shape our perception of reality. But those words, they're not real. Sure, I was a skinny kid with big ears and pimples. That was reality. But the bully's words of hate, judgment, and making me feel as if I had no value, now that was an illusion. I want to show you something. My job as a professional magician is to make illusions look real. That is an illusion. It's not real. What is real is the amount of money that magicians like myself will spend on magic props and the countless hours of practice to perfect the sleight of hand and misdirection so that we can make it look like a coin really did pass through a solid can. People believe illusions every single day, but illusions are not real. Years ago, I was invited to a red carpet event. I met a famous supermodel. I was talking to her about my Destroy Illusion School Assembly program, the same one that I speak in schools across America. She said, "Tom, I wish that I looked like the cover of my magazine." She's been on the cover of hundreds of magazines. She said, "Tom, if I could change things about myself, I would." She said, "Because I know I was in the studio all day long with thousands of pictures taken of me by a professional photographer, and then there's an entire team of people that edit those images for weeks and months before anyone ever sees it on the newsstand." In the last 25 years, I have spoken to millions of teenagers. Ironically, my job as a magician is to keep illusions a secret. But when I speak in schools, my job is the opposite, and that is to expose illusions and replace it with reality. That reality being, no one looks like the cover of a magazine. Even supermodels wish they can change things about themselves. There's so much photo editing that goes into images to make them appear perfect. I also get to expose the illusions about social media and replace that with reality. That your friends' highlight reels of their best selves is not a true reflection of what is truly going on behind the scenes. You see, reality is we all have bad days. After I get done speaking at a school, there's typically a lineup of students that want to chat about how the assembly impacted their life. I want to share a couple of those stories with you. There was a middle school girl who shared how she wrote a suicide note the evening before. She said, "Tom, the only reason that I came to school was because I wanted to secretly say goodbye to my friends." She said, "I believed the illusions that I just wasn't good enough and that my friends had that perfect life, at least from what she saw on social media." She said, "I did not feel worthy enough." She said, "But today something clicked and it made me realize reality, and I believed it for the very first time." That reality being that I am perfect the way that I am. I do have a purpose. And she said, "Tom, I'm going to choose to live." That same day, later on at night, she came back to the family night with her mom. Her mom had that crumpled up suicide note in her hand. Let me just tell you, that was a thank you hug that I will never forget the rest of my life. Most surprisingly was a quarterback on the high school football team. He shared how he bullied a kid for 12 years for the way that he looked and the shoes that he wore. He said, "Tom, reality hit me so hard today that it literally changed the way that I saw that kid. So much so, he went out and bought a $150 pair of sneakers with his own money, gave them to that kid along with a public apology before that school. Youth in our nation are believing a lot of illusions, resulting in eating disorders, self-harm, cutting themselves to mask that pain, and worse yet, choosing to give up on this gift called life. But one of the greatest moments for me is when I get a chance to stand on an elementary, middle school, high school, or even a college stage. And I look out at the crowd and I witness the aha moment. And I see their faces begin to change as they're reminded of reality. I want to reveal a secret to you. No, it's not the secret to a magic trick, but it is a secret about you. Are you ready for reality? You are perfect the way that you are. Don't you change for anybody. Because if you're perfect the way that you are, then that means everyone else around you is perfect the way that they are. I truly believe that when we realize this, it will change the way that we see ourselves and other people. But most importantly, I believe it will transform the way that we treat one another. Together, we can make kindness the norm. Thank you.